Egypt's domestic troubles have eclipsed what some saw as a promising start for President Mohamed Morsi on the world stage. Just a day before he kicked off a crisis by granting himself extraordinary powers, Egypt basked in its resurgent role as a diplomatic player, brokering a truce between Israel and Palestinians in Gaza. The November ceasefire brought to new heights Mr. Morsi's foreign affairs offensive, highlighted by trips to Beijing and Iran just 2 months into his term. Political analyst Mustafa Al-Labad.
At the beginning, he was clever to choose China and Iran to visit in order to say, I am independent of Western interests and American interests.
In Beijing, Mr. Morsi deepened political and economic ties, small but symbolic counterweights to Egypt's decades of tight cooperation with the United States. The Iran visit marked the first by an Egyptian head of state since Iran's Islamic Revolution in 1979. But Mr. Morsi, who leads a mainly Sunni nation, held his own by lashing out at Tehran's support of the Syrian government, run by Shiite offshoot Alawites. However, to some, Mr. Morsi appeared to be playing into U.S. hands even more than the old government. Regarding Iran, political sociologist Saeed Sadiq.
Obama wants a Sunni alliance in the Middle East and Arab Spring countries to besiege Iran. So in this sense, the Muslim Brotherhood will not have a foreign policy different from the Gulf states.
Even credit for the Gaza truce, argues analyst Hisham Qasim, is less a triumph for Mr. Morsi than it is for the U.S. and its allies in Egypt's traditional sources of power, which show no appetite for conflict with Israel.
This is a situation where Morsi has no other option, because the real player here are the Egyptian intelligence and the military.
The perception of Mr. Morsi being used by the U.S. has spilled over into protests at home. Professor Sadiq says it all combines to make any foreign initiatives by the president more difficult.
Egypt needs to build the inside before they go outside.
The analysts say the domestic front will likely keep Mr. Morsi very busy in the coming months. Elizabeth Arrott, VOA News, Cairo.